Errol, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, the untouchable, True School Sports Empire. You know the rest. Now listen, man. For those of you who've been following me for years, you guys know that I've always been adamant that Terence Crawford and Errol Spence was never a competitive fight. We saw that it was Mayweather Gotti 2.0, and everything that I said was true. So throughout the course of the next couple days, weeks, and potentially months, I'll be posting receipts here on True School Sports with the dates and everything. So yeah, here's an excerpt from December 2022 on the illustrious and Still podcast with my boys Andrew and Nelson. Enjoy.
Let's stop talking about the dirty stuff we have no control over. If the fight happens,
Oh, come on.
how does Crawford win?
Oh, you know how it's gonna end. It's gonna end the way his last 8 fights have ended, by stoppage. He ain't gone the distance with anybody since the freaking Barack Obama administration.
But again though,
That's my boy right there.
yeah, he's knocked out his last 8 opponents. But who was his last opponent?
His last opponent was John Porter, the guy Errol Spence didn't stop.
And not only that, the guy that gave Errol Spence a razor thin split decision. If it wasn't for that knockdown, we might not be talking about Spence right now.
That's right.
Bro,
That's my guy. To a love. Shout out to Sean Porter.
Close fight.
well, going back to the fight. So you think Crawford knocks Spence out?
Yeah.
Why? Why do you see that he knocks
Because
him out?
I don't know why Errol has these lapses in fights. Like he had it in the Ugas fight. Remember when he like kind of looked down and the Ugas hit him with the right hand and the ropes held him up. And then I think it was a Danny Garcia fight. He had another similar thing that happened as well. You can't have those lapses with Crawford. And not even just that. I just think even though he's like you said earlier before we started the show, he's a very technically sound fighter, and the output of that jab is great,
Consistent.
But I just think Crawford's gonna time him, and he's gonna hit him with something vicious, like and it's Errol Spence. Errol Spence not gonna know what to do with himself.
I just think that, I mean, I've said this so many times, I didn't want to say it. I just think Crawford
Adjustments.
very well. He adjusts, he adapts to his opponent. And yeah, he may not be a fast starter, but after that third round, we always see Crawford adapt and figure it out, man. And I think he's going to figure out that puzzle. And when he smells blood,
It's a wrap.
it's a wrap.
The
He
thing is,
finishes.
so who do you think has the better resume? You think Crawford has a better resume than Spence?
At 147 overall.
No, I 147
Oh,
is Spence.
It's definitely Spence at 47.
Well,
Overall,
overall though.
I think Crawford's resume is actually pretty underrated. Like people like to trash his resume because it doesn't have like the name value that Spence has. But like you got to remember, Crawford, the way he got known was when he fought was it Prescott on 2 weeks notice.
On 2 weeks
On 2 weeks notice. Then after he fought,
and that fight was at 140, if I'm not mistaken. It wasn't at 135.
yeah, he went up in weight. Then he won his world title in England against Ricky Burns. Everybody said Ricky Burns isn't that good, but Ricky Burns was like the best guy in that weight class at the time. Burns had a close fight before that fight with Ray Beltran, who people thought beat Ricky Burns. Crawford then, after beating Ricky Burns, fought Ray Beltran,
Right.
Postal, Felix Diaz is another one.
Postal was on a wreck on that moment.
He
that was
destroyed
his best
Matisse.
time. Yes, he was on a wreck.
I actually interviewed Crawford the week of because I went to Hank Lundy fight when he fought Hank Lundy, and I remember I asked him about fighting Postal, and people at that time were talking about, oh, Crawford's not gonna fight Postal, and I asked him about it. He's like, man, that's just for they're just saying all that for show. I'll fight him, and then he fought him and he whooped him, and then now
He whooped his ass.
Postal's a nobody. Fight fans wanted to know why didn't that fight happen. I know that Postal's team and him was saying that 50% of the table.
Listen to this.
All
Listen
right.
to this.
All right.
We asked for that fight. They said they wanted 2 more fights or whatever the case may be. That's what I got word back.
Okay.
It wasn't no Postal calling Terence Crawford out when Terence Crawford didn't have no opponent. Everybody knew I didn't have no opponent and we was looking for an opponent. You didn't hear Team Postal saying, we'll fight him. But then when me and Hank Lundy signed the fight, that's when you hear, oh, Team Postal, we would have fought Terence this, Terence that. It's all for show.
Right, but then
Right.
Postal fought Jose Ramirez, right, and he gave Jose Ramirez all he could handle.
Right.
I think the output of Spence's
That's a
jab is
problem. But I, aside from all these other tangibles, I think it's also the fact that Crawford's feet are faster. He is the better boxer. He's quicker. He is quicker. I think he hits harder than Spence. So many things that I see on Crawford's side. I do think, though, Crawford has been hit more than Spence has. His defense may be a little bit more vulnerable.
He likes to fight in exchange.
Yes, he likes to bang. But even then, Spence is not this one-hitter quitter type of guy either. He knocks his guys out by, constant pressure and
The thing too is Crawford. The thing that nobody talks about Crawford is his physical strength, because he's really matured into a really solid welterweight. Right. He's the only guy I think at welterweight. Well, maybe not now, but for years I thought he's the only guy at welterweight that could kind of like not allow Spence to muscle him on the inside, because that's the one advantage he normally has over everybody. Crawford's very physically strong. People forget that this guy was like a wrestler. Like he's like really good at wrestling and stuff. So he's really good on the inside and not getting pushed back.
I mean, he looks like a thin dude, man. And bro, I've seen him deadlift over 405 pounds. So he's a strong guy.
Well, in this fight,
thank you for watching another video on the Untouchable True School Sports Empire. We're here at the Hatanaka Boxing Gym in Nagoya, Japan. And for more great videos just like this one, make sure you guys click right here.